Hi, friends. I am Janice.
And I am Patrice.
And we are
Heritage and Horizons.
Welcome to a new video. Before we get further into this video, however, I need to say how appreciative we are for those of you who have subscribed, who have shared, and who have liked our videos so far. We're getting some very positive feedbacks, and I can't tell you how much that means to us. We want you to go a step further if you have not yet done so, and that is to turn on your notification bell so that whenever we drop a video, you will be the first to see it. Thank you so much. And now, Patrice, what are we doing today?
I'm going to add that I wanted to say thank you to everyone because we're almost at 100 subscribers.
Yay! Yay!
So once we get to 100, we'll get to 200. Our ultimate goal is to have at least 1,000 subscribers, as well as not only just subscribing, but watching our video. If you know anything about YouTube, all of that stuff is very important. So that's why I agree with you, Mom. We want to make sure that they hit the notification button so that they know exactly when we upload videos. And we're going to upload videos every Monday and every Thursday. So today's topic is a continuation of our last topic, which was solo travel. We are going to dive a little deeper into some of the things that we enjoy and some of the things that we've done in the past in regards to solo travel. This week, if you're watching this in real time, I actually got an opportunity to watch Tracee Ellis Ross's YouTube, well, not really YouTube, but she has a show on Roku, and it's all about solo travel. So obviously this is not a plug, but I thoroughly enjoyed her show. What about you?
I think that, well, I loved the show. I watched all the episodes in one sitting. And it was really like a confirmation to me that, yeah, we may not have Tracee Ellis Ross's coins, but we are able to do at our level some wonderful solo travels that we have been enjoying.
Yes, absolutely. So I know this is a page about us together, but us being apart and doing solo trips, I think is something that's a little unusual. So I'm glad we're adding it to this particular channel. Mm-hmm. So before we get into it, we're actually going to start with some of Mom's solo travel trips and then go into mine. But as she said before, make sure that you like, subscribe, share, and hit the notifications so that you know every time we release a video.
And we want to hear from you because, you know, we are still in our growing pain stage. And so your feedback will be very, very instrumental in our progress. So we thank you and stay tuned.
Yeah, special shout out to John, who made us realize that our map was upside down or the other way in the previous videos. So thank you for that, and hopefully we fixed it.
We're working on those things, little by little, inch by inch.
So thanks, guys, and enjoy this video from Janice and then Patrice.
See you soon.
Speaking of solo travel, this picture shows one of my proudest moments as I was about to present to a group of teachers at the Jamaica Teachers Association conference in Jamaica. Such a wonderful paid forward moment for me. First, let me apologize for this picture quality, but this picture I had to share. I was presenting about my first book, Seven Insider Secrets, to a group of education leaders at the City College in New York. I was proud because it was my first book and proud to be presenting at such a great institution. The National Association of Elementary School Principals is a prestigious organization that features education leaders as they learn, grow, and network. Here I am on another solo trip presenting my book, Seven Insider Secrets, to a group of conference participants. Oh, another great moment. Well, my solo trips have not always been about work. Here I am on the beautiful island of Jamaica, enjoying the ocean at the Rio Negril. Ah, how do I love the sea and the sand. Now, another fun trip was a solo trip to Jamaica. And here I am posing outside of Sharky's. Friends picked me up and took me to Sharky's, where I had some of the best fish in the world. Well, I spoke before about loving to eat. Here I am on a solo trip experiencing a personal dining experience in Jamaica. Oh, in Montego Bay, Jamaica. I wish I was there right now.
Hi, everyone. If you're interested in learning more about one of the two books that my mom has written, the one that she mentions in the video, we're going to add a link to the Amazon page in which you can take a look. And if you're interested and so inclined, you can also purchase the book. Thanks. Most of the time, when I do solo travel, it does involve the sand and the sea. Sometimes I'm doing activities, and sometimes I'm doing exactly what you see in this video, just sitting on the beach, taking in some sun, not a lot of sun, but taking in some sun and enjoying the peaceful scenery. It really is my happy place. Sometimes when I go on solo vacations, I meet up with friends. And this particular trip was a trip to New York with friends to see the Jay-Z exhibit at the Brooklyn Library, really combining my love of travel and my love of music, in particular hip hop music. And this was just delightful that the city did for their native son in Brooklyn, Jay-Z. The exhibit was very well done in the library, and I got to tour the library as well. But they really did a fantastic job talking about his progress, his music, his impact on hip hop music and fashion and Brooklyn in general. So I would love to see them curate something for someone else one day. And if I can mention, it was free. Now, the next few slides were actually from the same trip. This particular trip that I went on was to Aruba. I went right before New Year's. So I actually landed back home on New Year's Eve. But on this trip, it was pretty exciting. Aruba, you would typically think is just about the beach, but there's lots to do there. What I did do, and this is not a plug, was I searched Airbnb experiences and found a gentleman who did beekeeping. And so people were able to go there and also beekeep and learn everything that bees do for the habitat as well as the economy in Aruba. Another thing I did, which I probably would not suggest to people, is I kind of snuck into a hotel and did a mixology class. And so this was the Hyatt. There were two Hyatts, and I kind of put myself on the fancier Hyatt, and I was not staying at the fancy Hyatt. Mixology class list. So it was a free class for guests, and this class was pretty awesome. We got to make two different drinks, and the guys were pretty excited that I was there a lot because everyone else had dropped out. But it was wonderful, and that hotel is gorgeous. And the class itself was fun.
They regurgitate, each bee regurgitates nectar about 20 to 30 times before it becomes honey. But you have about 100 bees regurgitating that same nectar.
So they don't basically vomit?
It is in a way. I mean, they have a proboscis, so they don't really have a mouth. So it's more like a straw.
Oh, okay.
But they have to do that in order to, well, it does two things. It helps increase the enzymes and the bacteria in the honey, which is good for you.
Mm-hmm.
But also, it speeds up the process of it, they say it becoming dehydrated.
Yeah.
Because they also take in a little bit of the water themselves because they have to drink, right?
Here I am in the beautiful Twin Island nation of Trinidad and Tobago. This was a solo trip that I linked up with friends who live there. The beach itself was fantastic, very touristy, and so I got a good mix of the beautiful beach, but also what some touristy areas have to offer. In this case, beautiful, delicious bacon shark. It was fantastic. But in general, a lot of people don't think of Trinidad for tourism outside of Carnival, but it was wonderful to be there with my friend, but also to see the sights. In this picture, you can't really quite see it, but I did a 2 week solo trip, the longest solo trip I've ever taken, to Arizona. Mesa, Arizona specifically, but it was a beautiful place. And since you're in Arizona, you might as well take a tour. That included for me a tour of the Grand Canyon. We also went to some Native American reservations and interacted with the folks there. While I was in Arizona and got to see the Grand Canyon, I also went to quite a few museums to learn about the history of the Native Americans as well as Black Americans in Arizona. It was fun, a must see. Last but not least, definitely not the last of all my solo trips, but the last one I'm presenting today is a trip that I took to St. Thomas. I did quite a few things, including going to a few of the islands, the surrounding islands, but probably one of my most adventurous things that I've ever done was I did an underwater scuba dive with a helmet. I forget the actual term, but the helmet kept my head completely dry while I was underwater. Feet and feet deep underwater to touch the ocean ground and interact with the sea life. That was pretty exciting. What's funny is that I went by myself, but there were probably about 10 or 12 other people that I did not know there, and a couple of people backed out at the last minute, but we really got to interact. The other young ladies, it happened to be all girls, so it was fun. It was they were probably half my age, but it was super fun interacting with them.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share to Heritage and Horizons.